Hello everybody! I decided to make a quick review about this film camera. It's a Canon A-1. It's actually my go-to film camera and I think it's the first one that I bought. I got very lucky. I got it in second-hand camera store, and it came with a flash and different lenses, even with some big zoom lens. The zoom lens quality is questionable. I mean, still for film pictures it's pretty good, but it's not as good as this prime lens, but we'll get to it a little bit later. So yeah, I got pretty lucky. I got a full set for a very nice price. And if we're talking just about the camera, I think this film camera it's 35mm. It's amazing quality. Honestly, the lens that I have here, it's 35mm lens, aperture 2.8, which is a little bit too narrow for me sometimes, but you can compensate it with a nice film, so it's not a big problem. Then it has a thread, so you can put your color filters or any other filters, which it makes quite interesting effect to put a yellow filter over the lens, or maybe mist filter for some effects, which I quite like to experiment with. Yeah, so the lens quality that with this camera is amazing. It's FD 35mm and aperture 2.8, like I said. Then the camera build quality is really good. It was with me out in the sea, in the mountains. Of course, I treat my cameras pretty well, so I try not to drop them. Sometimes it happens, yes, but in general I'm very careful with that. So over the years nothing happened to this camera, and the quality is still the same. Plus the other thing that I really like about it is that it's fully manual if you want it to be. Of course, you know, with film cameras you set your own ISO for the whole roll. Well, not you set your ISO, but you pick the roll of film with the ISO that you want. So the ISO is going to be the same for the whole roll. But you can control the shutter speed here completely. It starts with 30 seconds, or B, it's when you actually just press and then wait as long as you need and then do the shutter yourself. But if it's automatic, you can start from 30 seconds and then it goes up to 1000. Which is pretty good. Sometimes in the bright light it's not really enough, but you know, you can close the aperture, and the max aperture is 22 with this lens. And then yeah, you can control the aperture, of course. There is automatic mode for aperture and for shutter speed, but I don't really use automatic so much, although you know, it has the light meter inside, so you can point it at something and then it meters the light and tells you the settings, so it's kind of automatic mode anyway, and it's actually pretty good. The light meter in this camera is very distant. Sometimes if the scene is like really bright or really dark, of course it's not going to measure it accurately, because in the end it's measuring the reflective light, but in general that's pretty good. And then when you shoot a little bit more with film, you get used to it and you know already that with this light and this data that light meter gives you, you need to maybe close the aperture a little bit more, open it slightly more, so you just get used to this. And of course the film that you put in the camera matters quite a lot, but that's a whole other topic. It just depends on what kind of style you like. As for this camera, that's great. It's really nice, I feel, for somebody who wants to actually experience film photography to its fullest, not just have some automatic camera that will do chick, 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 chick. I've got a camera like this too, and like point and shoot camera, which is also cool when you want to do something quick, or maybe give it to your children and they run around with it, and then you end up with funny pictures. But if you actually want to shoot something a little bit more serious, maybe you want to do some I don't know, shoots with models or for clients, something like this, and this camera can actually do that because the quality is really nice, and if you develop it in a good studio, in a good laboratory, and then very importantly scan it very well, the pictures actually can be used in quite a good variety of circumstances. So in my opinion, this film camera is actually really nice. If you manage to find it, it's Canon A-1. There are some variations of this camera, slightly different models. So some of them would, for example, only have automatic shutter, so it's a little bit restricting. I prefer it fully manual, and if I want it, it can be automatic. But yeah, this model in my opinion is the best because it just gives you way more options, and it's really easy to use. It doesn't take much to figure it out. So even if you are just getting acquaintance, I'm not sure how to say this word correctly, but if you're just getting into film photography, I think this camera as your first camera is great. Also, the size, it's pretty compact. It's a little bit heavy, yes, but well, it's heavy for me. I don't have much muscle, so quite a lot of things are heavy for me. But yeah, it's really compact, nicely built, reliable camera, never failed on me. But since it's film camera, you will get it probably secondhand, so you need to get it from a reliable source, of course. And the fact that you can change the lens, so it's not fixed lens, and then you can also put a flash on it. You can shoot in the studio with a flash, just put a flash trigger on top and or just a flash that goes on top of the camera. It's a nice effect, different style, but yeah. So that's really, really nice if you want to start or continue film photography. And another very important thing that I forgot to mention is that it has the focus. It's not automatic focus, obviously, you manually adjust it, but basically in the viewfinder, when you look through it, you see a circle in the middle, and when, for example, this is the picture how it should be, but if it's not in focus, it's kind of like that, or like that, depending on which side of the focus you are. So you just twist it slightly so it matches up and your image looks normal, and then you know it's going to be in focus, and the focus is really nice. So as film cameras go, I have some where you don't have this option, so you just have to literally guess how far the subject is. I used to use like laser meters for accuracy, but that's not ideal and it takes time, but you know. So yeah, you have to just do it like this by guess and take a picture, and then sometimes it just doesn't come out very well because you guessed it wrong. With this camera, the guesswork is just non-existent because you can actually see when it's in focus. So another thing that it would sway me to buy it again if I had to.